Okay, welcome everyone. On this topic, I'm going to be treating about brushes. Now, the brush tool is a tool that you cannot do without. You're going to be using it in in fact, almost every more features on the Photoshop layers. All these tools you use here comprises of the brush. Tools like spotting and brush, the brush tool himself, uh, the clone stamp tool, the history brush and art brush, even your eraser, and some other features like the blur, the sharpen, the smudge, and others comprises of this brush tool. So you cannot do with the brush without the brush tool. Sometimes when you make an effect on using your polygonal lasso tool, your magnetic lasso tool, your magic wand, quick selection tool, and the rectangular and elliptical marquee tool, you will be making use of the brush tool. So the brush tool is very useful. To activate the short key for the brush tool is B. B for the brush, B for boy, and B for the brush. Okay, we're going to start by creating a new layer by pressing Ctrl N, or you come to File, New. Now in this section, let me just say Brush Tool Effects. Okay, you set, I normally do set my background content to white, not transparent or background color. Just leave it to white. There's a reason for this. You'll be seeing more of the reasons why. Sometimes you notice when I do edit, I normally do use white background on it. And make your resolution 3 for high print. I'll create a video on why you need high resolution when using Photoshop, why you need to make your height, maybe you need to make the height large, or you need to make the size low. And on this section here, I'll advise you to use pixels. That's what I always use, because pixels is the combination of, it's what makes up every particles on the view of every photo, whether it's in a JPEG, SVG, PNG, whatever format it is. It's the pixels that makes up it in every view. So I'll click OK here, and I have a new view. And let me press Ctrl J to duplicate this layer. And sorry about that. Ctrl J to duplicate this. And this is the brush tool. Now among the brush tool, they have the brush set. You can click on this panel here, the brush panel here, to bring out the sets, to see some of the properties of the brush here. But you don't really need to come to this section here. All you need to do, and there's one here also, this is the brush presets. I normally used to make use of this. This is very, I'll be showing you on, you can among this brush presets here is very good to make use of it. You can see the brushes and how they flow easily within this section here. Like probably if you're making a cartoon of a photo, which I'll be creating a video on that, and you need this brush. This brush is very important. And there are other, you just try them out. This also you can use this in hairs, the slight hairs or curly hairs. And when you get to use the brushes, play around with them. Play around with, in fact, if you don't play around with the functions or other properties in the Photoshop, you cannot really get to know how they functions, how their functions and uses are. So when you come to this section, probably on your brush tool, you're using your brush tool, you're making use of several functions like the foreground color section here, where you select your color, and you're making use of this eyedropper tool, or you hold the alt key to activate it when you are only on the brush tool. And so the brush tool is a tool, just like I said, you can use it to work with the, let me say, the polygonal lasso tool, whereby first of all, before you do anything, you click a new layer. There's an empty layer, there's nothing in this layer. You try to create a shape, you try to make a selection with this tool. Let me just give you a quick selection, and you come to your brush tool. Your foreground color is pink. You can set it to whatever color you like, red. You click on it. I like using red. Red is not my favorite color, but I like using red colors. The red colors gives you, most designers, if you're designing a billboard, the red color is a very attractive color. You wonder why your bull, when it sees the red color, it attacks. You find out why. Red on white is a very attractive color. So within the section where you notice when I on highlights here, this is how the brush effects work. And you paint through. Also press Ctrl D to deselect, or you come to your rectangular marquee tool. Let me hide this layer and create another layer. This layer, just close this eye, and you create a rectangle, and you come to your brush, or you press B for it. You can easily brush that section of it, and you'll probably be seeing a lot of uses when you're editing. Probably when you're editing logos, shapes, and you're trying to do some cartoon animations using Photoshop. I think the best software in terms of illustration and cartooning, I think, is Adobe Illustrator. But for this purpose, if you're trying to use Photoshop, is a very good software, and a very great software in editing cartoon. Depends on how well you can make use of that software. So for me, I prefer using Photoshop in creating my cartoons or illustrations, or transforming a photo into cartoons. Press Ctrl D for this, and your brush presets here. This is the brush preset. It's also when you right click. This is just a simple shortcut for it. Now when I click here, you notice the hardness. This is the hardness. This is soft round. These are the default brushes that are being set by Photoshop when you install the software on your PC or your Mac. These are the presets. So when I click on this is the hard round. So you notice the hardness has come to 100. When I click on this, the hardness come to 0. So the way this thing functions are probably this round soft is kind of being blur, and the hard one is kind of give you a detailed shape on your object. So let me create a new layer, and let me choose a different color to this. Let me pick this color. I love this color, and let me paint on this red. You notice that when I click, which I'm on the hard brush, the shape here is not being blurred. They are being detailed edges on them all. So when you use the hard brush tool, it gives you a defined edges of whatever surface you're brushing it on, you're trying to manipulate on. Why the soft, let me hide this, why the soft brush, you either right click or you click here, you soft brush, you'll notice it's kind of being blurred a little bit. So for effect purposes, depending on what you want to use it for, to shape, or you want it to give you a glow like, a glow like color on it, or you can still use this brush tool effects for lightning also. Yeah, you can use it for lightning and just to create a sun like look or a glow like look. There are other effects like that also for advanced course in Photoshop, where I will see to that when we are manipulating a photo. But for this course, I'm just showing you the basics of it. And now, probably these are the only brush sets that Photoshop give. There's one that looks like a grass. Sorry, my system is a little bit slow. I installed this ones here, but I will not click on them. I want to make use of the one Photoshop installed. This one is a star brush. Increase the size. This doesn't have the hardness to it. They just did it in a way that you can use it for designing. Ctrl Z to deselect. And this one is like a grass, maybe you're editing a photo, you kind of want to put a grass on it. Let me use the default color, black. And this is how it works. You notice it's a kind of grassy look, kind of shape around them. And there are others here. This one like the Canadian leaf. Spread it out like Canadian leaf or weed. Some people use that for weed, but I don't know. I didn't say that. You reduce the size. You can reduce the size here, or you can reduce the size here. So it's still the same thing. You notice when I move this here, the same movement on the preset, the brush preset also changes. So now let me come to my hard round brush. Let me hide this layer. To install a font, to install a brush, what you do is you right click, you come to this arrow here, you click on it. You'll notice you have so many options here, and to install a brush, you click on load brush. When you click on load brush, it will bring you to the default section, the default folder where your brushes are normally being stored. Anytime you install a new brush, it will actually brings you here. The brush plugins, if you have to install them, it normally comes with .abr. I don't think it works with other softwares. I always see it works on Photoshop. So .abr, this is the folder where I can't find any brushes here, so I'm going to search for where I kept mine. I have so many brushes. I have so many brushes. Let me show you where mine is. See, Adobe Learning Tools, Adobe Software, and brushes. I have so many brushes here. We have the dirt. When you click on let me see which one I'm going to use. Let me make use of this brush, the cloud brush promo. You click on load, you notice it's .abr. It's not a software, it's a software, but it's a plugin for Photoshop, so that it's being renamed on .abr. You click on load, it will load that brush. To find it, to know where the brush is being loaded, if it's been existing in your, actually let me say it's been installed as a plugin to your Photoshop software. You come down here, so this is where you find them here. And probably going to be the last stop where you just bring out your cursor, point on it, and the one that show you cloud, does it? None of this is showing you cloud, so it's this one. You click on it. When you click on it, it's probably very large, so you kind of reduce the size. The reason this thing is showing me that I can't click on anything here is because I hide this layer and I'm not on a new layer. So I create a new layer and click the size, increase the size, and this is what you get. You notice it gives you a kind of cloud look. Cloud look brush. Maybe you're designing it, you're manipulating an object, and probably want to make the environment. I think the cloud used to be blue, right? Yeah, blue white. So let's delete these layers. Let's do something with this. Let's make this background color. Let's leave it at white. Hide these layers, or will I say delete the whole layers? Let's delete these layers, and let's see some effects. You zoom, hold space bar to drag, and you click on it, Ctrl Z. Let me use the blue color, blue, right? Blue for cloud, blue, and okay. And now when you click, you notice it gives a kind of blue like color on it. And let's make it a little bit stormy, and use the black, and you click on it. Let's do some editing. Create a new layer, you click on it, increase this, or let's leave it the way it is, and you reduce the opacity of it. Opacity actually gives you a transparent look. I will just talk a little bit on this. I don't think we really need much of it, but I think I will create a topic for this. Gives you a cloud-like look. So let's load another brush again, and let's see. Load brush. You locate where the sections are, and let me see this is called bubble. Load. You right click, scroll down. Probably it must look at them here. All the sets some of them come just once, some of them you will see them, and sets like that. I'll be giving you a link where you can download these brushes, and probably not mine. I did not create those brushes, but let's take a look at this. This is called like you create a new layer. So you see where this brush over, it's called a brush. So if you brush through, this is what you have. So you just know how to make use of your brushes. Right click, let's choose another one. Let's choose this, increase the size. This is called, okay, and hide this layer, create another layer, okay, and you come to this, increase this. This is kind of scary. Ha 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 ha. Okay, if you bring it under its bring this underneath, you'll notice. Okay, sorry, I did it on top. This, I'm supposed not to click on, mess up this background here. Shift backspace, sorry, control backspace to make it white, and where's my cloud? Make sure you don't really install a lot of brushes, if not you find very hard to locate them. So and So this is all for the brush, and within the set here they have the pencil, but I will be talking only about the brush. I don't normally used to make use of the pencils, but they have uses. They have a lot of uses, a lot of effects. You come to the brush section, you click on the pencil, and try to see the way it works. I'm on the pencil, please, not the brush. So these are the sets for the brush, and you notice that when I come to the brush and click it, the brush has its own different sets. You notice there's a softness and there's a hardness, but when you come to the pen, you notice all through here have been hard, but you can still soften it the way you like. So let me come back to brush tool, click on the brush, let me pull out the skull, please. And so I just showed you how to reset the brush sets and make use of them, and some other functions. So we'll be seeing more on the brush tool when you start making, when you start doing some real editing, like you creating logos, you manipulating a photo, you you're trying to paint something out, you're trying to get a cartoon out of a real image, and the rest. So that's for it. If there's any other additions in you or have any question, please don't fail to ask me anything you want, and I'll be stopping this video for you and see you in the next video. Thank you.